video. All right, you're live.
Hey, welcome to Nurturing Roots. I'm Naima, and we're just going to take a quick tour and show you what we're doing right now to help combat all this craziness going on with COVID. But really quick, I can show you my chicken coop.
Did you build that?
We did.
Aww.
We built this chicken coop. And we had a couple issues with rats coming in. So I've been showing folks how easy it is to have a chicken coop. Oh no, Grandma. I forgot these ones getting out. They're not friends with Grandma.
Oh, they're jumping on.
Go on, Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma, she had to protect Grandma.
Right? She'll be okay, but those ones, they don't get along quite yet.
Okay.
But anyways, okay. So the chicken coop was getting a little bit of rats digging in.
That's what they do.
So we had to dig it all the way out and put that metal hardware cloth at the bottom. So like this, if you look in here, you can see where the rats tunneled in, but they can't get up anymore.
Oh.
So that's the most important, putting a ground layer of that. But we can walk around because I know this weather
starting to change.
Okay. So compost definitely is important when you have a farm. You want to try to recycle, upcycle a lot of your waste. So any of our, our old scraps, our chicken waste, anything that can biodegrade, we throw it here and then we turn it, cycle it, and then it turns into the soil. So this is what it looks like 3 years after. But really good soil.
Is that how long you've been here? 3 years?
5 years.
5.
Yes, but that's my prized soil that I finally was able to start from. So crazy that you guys just watered too. But our starts right here, we're setting up for grow boxes, which we'll show you more inside. But a lot of these starts were, the seeds were hand done by different volunteers. We were able to get some donations from different spaces. But these are some of the starts we'll be giving out. Fire pits. Yes. Elements. Right. So we got a fire pit that we love to have for live events. We have farm to table dinners here.
Farming, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, farm to table dinners. We've hosted one with Chef Tarek. We hope to do a lot more this year. We're hoping everything can open back up. But Chef Tarek had a table down the center, so there was.
Amanda's volunteering to do one. You want to do one? She want to do one?
Yes, please. RBAC, we gotta host one. Come on, David, we gotta host one.
All right.
But I would love to do like a cultural dinner up here and then have a space where folks can actually go pick it, put it in the plate, and eat it. But this is why we have this little stage area. This is our table setting area, and we use the hay bales. Those are our seats. As you see, our seats are starting to grow now. But on this side, everything flowering is edible, so there's pollen. But rainbow chart, so these are some of the starts we're giving folks. So you can see the spectrum that rainbow chart gives you, all the way from burgundy and red, all the way to yellow. Take it off. Down a week or 2 weeks ago, and they're doing pretty good. So anybody that gets starts, definitely they can put their stuff outside now.
What about if you live inside and you only have a window sill?
Yes, we have something for inside dwellers too. If you don't even have, a balcony, if you just have a window and some sun can get in, we can for sure get you set up with different pots. I started doing a lot of my growing with propagation. So when you cut the bottom, when you cut the bottom off of something and you allow the roots to kind of come back out of that plant. So onions, I know all of us have probably seen tomato or potato sprouting roots, old potatoes, onions, garlic. So a lot of lettuce, celery, you can cut off the top, the part that you want, that bottom stocky part will root again. So for me, I started that way and I was in my kitchen window. So I always tell folks, use the bottom of lettuce, use the bottom of your celery, put it in a cup of water and then just watch it grow. You can still cut off the top. Same thing with chives and onions. So for me, start there. Yep, you can. Some of them. So there's some plants that won't want to go back outside and they're too used to being indoor and they're already weatherized. So sometimes they won't last. But I've had a pineapple I was able to transplant. It stayed outside when it was hot, brought it in when it was cold. And 1 year I missed. So that pineapple, she passed. She was 3 years old. My pineapple Alicia. But
she said the pineapple she took, she propagated a pineapple.
Yep.
And she took it out when it was warm and brought it in when it was cold, and then she missed a year and it passed away.
Yes.
She's sad about that, and I can understand that.
Yes. But the pineapple you propagate with the top. So if you take, under the leaves. If you take that, put it in water, or let it reach for water even. It doesn't even have to soak in it. It'll reach for the water source and then start roots again. And then just plop it in the dirt.
What's that behind you over there?
Behind me. So these are lettuce. In here, so lettuce and spinach down the center. And those are about the same age, so 2 weeks. So some of the starts that folks get will also be this lettuce, butter lettuce, romaine, and then spinach. We can go over, I know this side's a little tricky, watch your step, but you can see the garlic and onions that we planted.
Look at this. Okay, I know we're looking at the garlic in our garden. How old is this garlic?
Yeah, we did this in September.
Really? Because we got garlic from last year and we pulled it up. It don't look like it's doing, it's doing something, but it's not like doing what we want to see garlic look like.
Yeah, a lot of times garlic, onion, they don't want to be soaked. So for me, I've noticed why when you're doing a bed, you want to dig it up. So I know we'll probably do another something. But if you can imagine digging the bed up like that all the way down, so then it allows the water to drain out.
Oh.
These ones we just put directly in the ground. We have volunteers do them. I didn't really mind. But
if you know, can you show them again? I'm sorry. Like my camera ain't down right. Sorry.
So if you make the bed like this down the center, it creates an opportunity for this water to drain out. And it won't sit on the plant as if the plant was right here. The water will pull and sit.
Yeah.
So onions and garlic want a chance to be able to dry, but also drink. So usually if you plant them like this, then it gives them that opportunity and they will bulb.
Okay.
But when they're like that, it's like, I don't want to make a bulb. I don't feel comfortable. Like they just need to be, so I can pull. This one we took out. But you see it's not bulbing, it's not quite ready. Right. But it will start.
And that is
starting to bow out. This is garlic. It's called an elephant garlic.
Oh.
So a lot bigger. You can tell this one is a regular garlic. But yeah, these are elephants, so they'll be about that big.
Okay.
But took that one out to show some.
That's excellent. Just stick it right back in the ground. You see that? Oh, I'm talking about.
Right? So we've got a lot of stuff here that's just growing wild. Like I said, all these are edible, so we leave the chive out because we love the bees to be able to get some early taste of something, and then also you can eat them. So I want to be able to show folks that the whole plant is edible, not just the leaf. Where usually we'll just eat this, consume it, and it's done. But this whole stalk I can give to my chickens, and they'll clear it clean.
What?
And they'll eat everything off it, yeah.
And it's good for them. Girl, you gonna make me get, can I get a chicken or two?
Right, yeah.
I'm building my coop.
They love it.
Oh, wow.
But yes. Come on in. Maybe we can go in and check out the starts.
All right. I'll follow you.
Thank you.
Isn't this amazing?
It's a lot going on.
Okay, so anyway,
And we've been here 5 years. So a long time ago, if you can imagine, we had tons of this knotweed and Himalayan blackberry. So I'm sure everyone is fond of blackberry when they're fruiting, but when they're just taking over your garden, it's terrible. So the whole garden where we were just over where the chive, or excuse me, the kale, it was all of this and fennel. So for us, we had to clear a lot of it. We had a lot of the cat grass. So this, do you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that on the...
See that? Cat grass?
So like when I touch it, you see the seeds?
See that?
So so anyways, some things are really tricky on how they reproduce. This plant, if you touch it, the seeds go flying. So the idea of me trying to eradicate stuff like this was really difficult, but I got a lot of help with burlap bags. I'm about to show you guys some burlap, but a lot of what I did was cover the ground with 6 layers of burlap and then put soil on top. And now when I see the burlap, you just pull out this string. It's like just the liner comes out. So for me, that kept the weeds down. It is. Cool. Yep. Biodegradable burlap. And I get that for free at most coffee roasters. You can also use cardboard. So being able to just put cardboard down on something like this. Layers, make sure there's not much paint and no plastic. But then soil on top of this, it can kill whatever's underneath it. Most times, blackberry will find its way up.
Yeah, that's a Brazilian fruit, ain't it?
Yes, crazy. But I can show you what we got inside.
All right.
There's probably some folks coming to pick up. Hi.
So we're going inside, y'all, where all other action is happening.
I'm over here
There are all
showing
kind
the
of people
live for
coming to
RBAC.
pick up. Oh,
Yes.
how are you?
Melanie's here.
Lovely.
And my guy Josh.
Pile.
And that's the thing. I can
Miniature
see it, but
mountain of compost. Can you guys see it from here?
Are your eyes open?
No.
Welcome back. We got a bunch of starts inside. The chickens are out if you want to give them some treats. I haven't given them any treats yet. So this is the Black Power Epicenter. Okay.
Say that again.
The Black Power Epicenter.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta do that every time. So Black Power Epicenter is home to a lot of different organizations. We're on a campus that shares with Got Green, so that's amazing. Rewa's here. But inside, we organize with Surge Reproductive Justice. We organize with Mask On, Mask Off, Nurturing Roots, Blackout. Did I say YUIR already?
No.
YUIR,
Which
yes,
is?
an EPIC, Youth Undoing Institutional Racism.
Yes.
An EPIC is ending the prison industrial complex.
Yes.
So definitely a lot of social justice focused here, but
Yes.
we're all about the food justice.
Yes.
So we got this amazing heap of compost from Cedar Grove,
y'all
which
see
I
it?
would love to share. I'm wondering, I'll share it with that later. But we got this amazing heap of compost, which usually you get free compost from the city. This year, the city distribution spot told me that they were unable to give it unless we're a revenue generating client. And so a lot of times we deal with, unequitable response, and it was one that we had to kind of combat this year. So we just went ahead and bought this soil when usually they're supposed to give it to us for free, because we give all of our food waste for free, of course, and they make tons of money off of it. So we want to be able to get the compost to people no matter what, limitations you have, and no matter what, what structure we're under right now. COVID should not stop folks from eating and growing. So we got this compost. This is free for folks to come and pick up. We're offering folks to fill up bags, but if you have a trunk, if you have a tote, if you have whatever, come and bring it.
Wheelbarrow, wagon.
Yes,
Bring it.
come and fill up, and you can grab it. There are some deliveries that we're doing, so we can always deliver to for the folks that have limited mobility.
What's that right there? Those are burlap bags you was talking about?
This is burlap, and sometimes they're really beautiful. So it was hard to just throw these out.
That is beautiful.
Right? And they're all from all over the world. Colombia.
Look at that.
Right?
I'll grab a couple of them. I need those.
Right? And so you can get these at coffee roasters. But there's a roaster in Renton that I go to by the landing. And all you have to do is call them. I think they're called tradesmen. You call them, hey, I want to get some burlap, pull your car up, and they fill it up as much as you want. So they're really nice. But some of them, it's like, gosh, I don't want to get rid of that one. But yeah, that's what I did. And if you can imagine, I put 5 or 6 down, and that mitigated my weeds, and then put the soil on top. And then it took 3 years to break down, and you just end up pulling out that liner. It's like a plasticky liner, but that's it. So yes, this is the soil. Let's go inside. I'll show you what else goes in the box.
Right on. How you guys doing? You guys doing good?
Is my volume okay? They can hear?
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
they can hear. I'm sure if they couldn't, they would definitely say something. I'm excited. This is like, I love this. How's everybody doing? David, where you go? Oh, there you go. How's everybody doing? Who else is on? Good. Excellent. So we're going inside now. Hey, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, we're going in
Oh,
now.
nice. Okay.
Excited.
So welcome in. I know it's nuts right now. So these are our boxes that we got.
I'll be right back.
You can check out the starts. So this is where we welcome folks in. No, it's a little hectic right now. We just got all these from the post office. Thanks, USPS, for donating all these free boxes. But we had to be creative on how we got our tools.
Look at all these starters, you guys.
What's that?
I was telling them to look at all the starters.
Oh, yes.
These are going out to
Tons.
families.
And then lots of pots. So we went and got stuff really for anybody that wanted to get started. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
So we got these really cool hanging baskets for folks, like I was saying, if you have a window but you just want to utilize that space, you could hang that. You could hang it on a balcony if you needed to. We have smaller pots, so if you don't have that much space, larger pots.
Can you talk about what that pot does? The fact that it looks like it won't hold water and all
Yes.
of that extra goodness.
That it looks like a little nest.
Yes.
So these help hold water, will hold the matter, but then release water. So some plants, like those onions, they want to be able to drain. You don't want them to pool up. So that's usually why in the bottom of your pot you have the holes that you have to release the water. So this allows you to be able to plant, so you can put soil on top. It'll hold a little bit, give the chance for the roots to kind of drink, but then it'll still allow it to seep out. So definitely have something under this that you don't mind the water seeping out if you're watering it.
Yeah.
But these are really cool because they're lightweight, and I feel like the plants really love it.
So if you're new growing plants,
Mm-hmm.
And you have some in your windowsill, you got to make sure they have a way for the water to escape and not sit in the water.
Yes.
Would you say that for new folks?
Yes and no. So for me, sometimes I love to water from the bottom. I can show you over here. So these plants, my snake plants, which started off one huge one, and then I separated her out. So for these, I'll put into something like this and put water in here. So I put water here, and these snake plants, they will drink from the bottom where their roots are. But usually you can feel down, and I'm trying to show you guys that it's still dark soil. So whereas it looked dry on top, it's wet towards the bottom because that's where it's used to grabbing the water. So some plants, they do like that, but you want to be mindful that the water isn't being rancid, not going rancid, so you're not getting like nasty water going up. And then also that you have basically the time to look at the plant. Okay, it doesn't need any right now. It technically is not wet, or it is wet, so you don't have to put water in. So overwatering you could really easily doing like this. Okay. Because the soil sucks it up and holds it for the roots, and then the roots get to have it. But the soil will take as much as the soil can retain. Okay. So if you think about, the soil will keep going until it turns to mud if it can keep pulling. Okay. So less water the better, but yeah, it'll drink. Keep it low. The plants love it like that.
That's a mother's tongue or a snake plant? What do you call it?
That's a mother's tongue.
It's a mother's tongue.
Well, snake plant. I call it snake plant.
Well, can you talk about how good these are for the environment? I know you have quite a few plants that are good for in the home, and they help with the air. Atmosphere. So can you talk about that?
Definitely plants, they breathe out what we breathe in. So when you think of it like that, they definitely should be anywhere there's a lot of us breathing. But for sure, snake plants, I have, so this is a Christmas cactus. Not so much on this one, but these are heavy breathers. I have a Dracaena, this one, heavy breathers. So palms, ferns, they're definitely good to just incorporate good circulation. Succulents also. Yes, and I'm not sure what this one's called, but I see a lot of ground cover. So these ones I just foraged walking around, and then I was able to pot them. They were mostly about that size, and then they kept going up. I can show you how I do succulents. They could use a little bit more water. The succulents can retain a little bit more water inside, kind of like, I think of them like camels.
You don't want to overwater those, huh?
Right, because they want it to run off of them. Same thing with aloe.
Well, that's a Herkin plant,
right? You see the aloe, guys?
Man,
so these aloe are super healing. There's some leaves that we've taken off and tried to root, so those don't bother those. But we got a little baby down here, as you see. The root probably kicked her out, and she just started growing on her own. But yeah, aloe really loves heat. So if you have a warm window, these specifically came from my aunt's house, and at her window, it's similar to this, but she has her heat vent under it. So for her, it's the best place in her house, and it gets morning sun, but then the sun goes behind the house in the evening. So not sun all day. Definitely give it time for the soil not to be hot all day, but aloe loves it in the sun. So this aloe, we turn this way because we want it to reach back. Her window was on this side, if you can imagine. So these aloe, I turned them this way, and slowly you can see they're starting to turn around.
How old are they?
I don't know. Yeah, these aloe, they probably at least,
at least 5 or 6 years.
But she has a really, like her plant, the root system wants to just kick out. So they may be 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this one's younger than this one. I got this one more recent than that one.
Do you have any aloe?
This?
No, other than your big ones.
Oh, no, not to give. I wish. Okay. But yeah, this climate is just tough.
I got some for you.
Right on. Yeah. Okay, yes. Aloe, love it.
Yes.
I don't know. Ooh, that's a before and after. You probably can't see that on the film. I can show you the room where all the boxes are really quick if you guys have time for that.
Yes, we got time.
All right. So
we're going back to the room now where all of the magic, putting everything
together. This is where we're putting everything together, which I'm sorry it looks crazy. I'll try to slide.
Like ready to pass off some good stuff.
Right?
Pots and boxes and
tons of boxes. So yeah, each person will get one of those in their box. and it's full of helpful hints and strategies on how to be successful with your garden. These are some of the most important things that I think I had to remember when I started out, so I just added those. But I always have this scan sheet, so if you ever have any questions or you want to check out videos, you can always get that on there too.
Okay. So you have two to-do videos on this site?
Oh, yes.
How to do and
yes, nurturing your roots at home. We're trying to get more content created, so definitely.
So nurturing roots at home.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that concept?
Nurturing your roots at home, educating folks to be self-sustaining. So the idea of you being able to do this in your own space is what we want. So when we can't do things just like right now during COVID, it's like the best time I could imagine to get people focused on growing at home. And then just trying to give everyone the tools. So Nurturing Your Roots at Home started with just content creation, but now it's like, now we can give you the tangible materials too and get it going together, and we can keep a watch online. So
what are you giving to the community during this COVID time? Like what can they get if they're like, I want to get some fruit or some starters from you, and what all are you providing?
Yes, so in your box, I'll show you really quick. So in your box, you definitely get the pots. So depending on which box, we have an A, B, and a C. The A box is for an apartment that may not have a balcony, but a window space or a light. Then we have a B box, which is our medium box, that maybe you have small space, but you do have a balcony, or you have the potential to get larger plants in your space. And then we have C, that is someone that has a yard space, so you can get into the ground. You don't necessarily get any pots, but you still get the seeds and the great information. We're also giving tools, so if you need hand tools, you can elect to get those. But the most exciting thing that we added was...
That's my excitement.
Right?
Get the cards. Get the cards.
Right.
Get the cards.
Yes, so we've added this list. So we're going to work on making these for each year, because seed packets, as everyone knows, there's thousands of seeds in there, and usually you don't even need them all in one time. So we broke down a bunch of seed packets, we numbered them, and then we added numbers to these individual baggies of seeds. So each farm box is going to get their individual seeds that are suitable for their growing space, and they'll also get helpful hints. So we made hints about how do you space them, how tall do they grow, what are they good for, can I eat the roots? So that type of thing, we just added helpful hints, but I hope that folks will look at this and further investigate what they're growing in different styles and, you know, different ways they can use them. But all of that is inside. These are just a look at all of our seeds that we had to section out, but a lot of them were similar growing. So like our squash, our melon, we made those the same card, but tons of seeds here, definitely. So each person will get seeds, starts, tools, and tips.
All right.
But yes, we have so many.
Does anybody have any questions from our hangout for Naima while we got her here? Because she's going to have to get going in a second. She got a lot to do. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask while we're here? Yes, I can hear you. How many boxes have you been able to pass out thus far to the different communities?
So we've made deliveries. We just started sending them out yesterday. So we made, I believe, 11 deliveries yesterday, but we have a total ordered of 60 boxes. So we have folks that have inquired.
60 boxes.
Yes, 60.
That have been, they've already pre-ordered online?
Yes, and we did all the pre-orders. We built them up. But there were 180 inquiries. So we sent out an email to at least 180 folks. And I think with this last Emerald article, there's been a lot more people like, I heard on the Emerald. I'm like, oh, so you're new folks.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of people. I know Africatown also is interested. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more. But we have a lot more in the community, also different farmers who are producing more starts. So our peppers, our tomatoes, the hotter crops will be coming. So we definitely have tons.
When are they coming? The peppers and
next week.
Next
week?
week?
I wanted to keep them inside because when they're larger, I think people would have better luck keeping them alive. Yeah, they're small right now. So I'd be willing to give folks if they want one. But
I put it in I got an incubator window.
Yes, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good window. Yes, because that's what they need. But I just ordered from USPS. So we've got up to at least 200 more boxes that we can do.
Okay.
So I'm down to do as many as we can.
What's your goal for this season?
My goal is just to have people at the end of the season with produce. really, if one person comes back and says, I got a good harvest, I was able to make something out of my yard, that would be great. Because to me, again, it's trial and error. If this is your first time, which I think it's about 78% of everyone says it's their first time. Mm-hmm. So to me, just doing it, that's the best thing. People coming and getting these boxes and me not looking at them no more.
Right.
That would be a success. But
especially for people who live in apartments and don't have the space outside, but they are doing it in their homes. Those are the people we really want to speak to as well. Definitely. So that they know that they can do it even though they don't have the yard. They don't need it. They can still do it inside. Yes.
And I got all that on a form, so I'm looking forward to capturing all that and seeing.
So all that information is on your website? Mm-hmm. Did you guys got any questions? You got all the information?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah, right. Nurturing Roots Farm on Instagram. There's a link tree on our bio on Instagram. So if you need to sign up for a box, go there. If you need to share it with somebody, tell them to go there and sign up soon.
And you'll be able to see Naima a little later on tonight on Sisters Rock the Arts Facebook Live.
Right on.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Love it. But thanks y'all for joining me. Thanks y'all for coming and tuning in. But yeah, hopefully you guys... You're welcome. Please get a box. Order a box. If you need some, come on up. We are here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, man.